Hi guys, hope you're well. It's Ruth here. I hope you're having a good week. I miss you all. But I'll be bringing you a devotional today, so hopefully this is a way to connect as well. So, as I was writing this devotional, I was writing about something completely different, and I had the kids in the other room doing some educational videos. And as I was writing this, I could hear that they had changed the channel into something different, and the noise of the YouTube videos really got to me, and it made me think about how atmosphere and the atmosphere that we have in our homes has noise, and it really sets the mood. And so it just made me think about how we in lockdown can really be set in the atmosphere and set in the mood in our homes during this time, for it to be a positive one and for it to be a place that's actually productive to be as well. So if I was to title this devotional, it would be You Set the Playlist. And the first point for You Set the Playlist is sometimes you need to just switch off. You need to say, Alexa, off. See, my kids have learned how to figure out how to play Alexa, so it's constantly, Alexa, play Power Rangers. Alexa, do this, do that. And I'm just constantly saying, Alexa, off. Because atmosphere has a noise, and sometimes that noise can be really unhelpful. But we've been given a really unique opportunity during this lockdown to switch off that noise that often fills our lives. See, our life can be so full of voices and of different things that can be overwhelming at times. And actually, we've been given an opportunity now to switch off some of those voices. Yeah, even in this, we've been filling, I don't know about you, but our lives have been full of maybe different noises. Whether it's stress from homeschooling the kids, or whether it's stresses from work or your business or financial. Maybe it's because you're just all in the same house and you're just getting to the point where you're just on top of each other all the time. Or maybe you've got too much space and you're getting inside your own head. And what I would say is just take moments where you can to just go, I'm just choosing to switch off the noise that is overwhelming my life right now. I'm choosing to switch off that background noise and to reset what this atmosphere and what this playlist looks like. The second point I would say is you have the power to change the playlist. You don't have to listen to what everybody else is saying, to what everything else is going on around you. Just the other day, Stu was in the garden digging up things, and it all kind of kicked off inside the house, and I was shouting, Stu, Stu. And he was completely oblivious because he had his headphones in and he was choosing to listen to something else. So while there was chaos in the background, he was choosing to listen to something else. And as frustrating as that maybe was for me at the time, it got me thinking about how, there can be chaos in the background, but we can choose to listen to truth. There can be voices of fear, but we can choose to listen to faith. There can be panic and chaos, but we can choose peace. We can choose hope. And I would just encourage you to set the playlist that you're choosing to listen to and make sure it's a positive one. And then the third thing I would say is you also have the power to preset that soundtrack that you're listening to. I would say don't base it on your feelings at the time, because our feelings are so fleeting and they go up and down and they change. But when Paul and Silas were they were in serious lockdown. We were in lockdown, but they were in serious lockdown. And when they were in prison, they chose to play a different playlist. It could have been one of fear and of unfairness, but they chose to play a playlist of praise and thanksgiving and worship. And and I would just encourage us at these times to choose a different playlist. Don't choose one based on your feelings or based on your circumstances, but choose one that is actually going to be really positive. And as you're building a playlist, what I love about building a playlist is you find some songs that you're like, that was a banger, like I loved that song. And it reminds you of a time, of like a good time or like a good moment. And I'd encourage you, when you're setting your playlist, like to remind yourself of good times, of God's goodness towards you, of good times of like God's been faithful, God's really brought you through, to look back and see God's goodness. And then also when you're building a playlist, sometimes you discover a new song. You discover something that you want to add to that playlist. And I would say use this opportunity to add to your playlist, to find new times of God's goodness that you can add to your playlist. So this week, I would empower you to go build a playlist, set the atmosphere in your home, make it a good and a positive one, and I hope it really helps change your week this week.